tonight's guest live, just so everybody can be in here. I'll go ahead and put that at in there. But you keep getting pet, man.
Dude, I'm not gonna stop. I like it. I got a little dog at the house. I got 2 dogs and 2 cats.
2 dogs and 2 cats?
Yeah. Yeah, they all get along too. I'm lucky.
Let's see if I can change this up really quick. Should be good to go. Should be live. It should say it. Face it. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. What did you looking at? You know they see the top of your head on there. They see your head on there, Simba. All right, one more thing, and we should be good to go. I was gonna make sure we can see the comments on there. Should be live now. Yeah, hopefully we see a live chat right there. Perfect. And here now. All right. It's starting to become normal every time.
Yeah, man. It's you get like a process, you know.
Yeah, I always gotta make sure I get all the other stuff out the way, knocked out, and then we'll be able to get going. So now that we have, whoa, already got some stuff going. Oh, we in here. We live. You already know, Kenny. We are live. We got everything in here. We got Simba right here, and we have my man Josh in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Josh, and don't forget this is Elevate EP Podcast through Future Motive, so it's promoting everything, and EP stands for Experience Perspectives, which we're going to get from Josh today.
Yeah, man. We've lived.
We're definitely going to get from Josh today. Some fun stuff. I got some questions for him, a couple of good mixes, a couple of changes. Hello, Deja. How you doing? You doing good? Oh, yeah, because you're supposed to be on a podcast too, right? Soon as we get it scheduled. I'm ready when you are. But let's get back to it. So what's up? You want to tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, man. I moved here like 4 years ago. I bartended in Highland Square at this place called The Matinee. I moved here about 4 years ago. Before that, I traveled around on the road doing festivals for like over a decade. And before that, I lived in this really rural town in Kentucky. And I also lived in Lexington. I moved from Kentucky to here. Okay. After I traveled, man, but I did it for.
Was it for the bartending reason?
Like,
or just like...
No. So, dude, that's a long story. I got off the road. Tried to open a bar with this guy, and he was a bad business partner. I ended up getting my ass handed to me, and it was like, well, man, I don't really like this town anymore. So I just threw myself north and ended up here. I have a couple of friends who still travel around and do festivals, and they were looking for somebody to stay. Because they're like, dude, we're gone half the year, man. Somebody could break into our house, our pipes could burst, whatever. Yeah. And we wouldn't know. So it'd be real cool to have somebody who like stayed here. So that's just kind of worked out.
At least keep a watch.
Yeah, and it worked out that way. We were able to set that up, and we all just kind of went and bought a house together.
That's still a smart move. Like I have buddies that like live together and do like a whole bunch of stuff. What's you said the festival?
Yeah, I used to do a lot of different festivals, like Louisiana, Arizona, Oklahoma, New York, Texas, just all over the place, man. I've lived everywhere. I've had a lot of weird jobs. I used to work games and rides. I would operate like 2,000-pound gear cranks manually, like you take like a carousel, but instead of a motor, it's just got like a fat dude with knuckle tattoos, moving it instead, and that was me. I was a fat dude with knuckle tattoos. I did knife throwing for a while. I sold flowers. I was a chocolatier out in Arizona. I trained.
So these were like 2-year gaps of places, or like how long?
No. So you go. Most of the fairs you did were 8 weeks. So they'd be open on the weekends. You'd be there for 2 months. You'd work 2 days a week. Okay. I mean, they'd be open to the public 2 days a week. You still did a bunch of shit during the week. Okay. Yeah, all kinds of stuff, man. I worked for this company called Trunks and Humps Entertainment.
Trunks and Humps.
For this guy named Bill
These
Swain.
names, man.
Yeah, Trunks and Humps Entertainment, Queens Bloomers, Flying Dragon Attractions, all these things. You can Google this shit, look it up. But I worked for a guy his name was Bill Swain for Trunks and Humps. And I worked with camels and elephants. And that was cool, man. That was a good time. I made friends with one of the camels. His name was Earl Jack. I was the only dude who could walk him without a leash.
Wow.
Yeah. I just drop it and wave my little finger out, and he would just follow me. He was a cool dude, man. I liked it. I enjoyed doing it. I did it for a long time. All my formative years, man. Like I got on the road. So I lived in. I was living in Lexington. I didn't like it. I was like 17 years old. I was like, man, this sucks. I left home at 17, so this is like the first city I lived in. So I was like, maybe I just need to live in like a bigger city. So I moved to Cincinnati. That was cool for like a year. Well, I lived there until like right after I turned 21. I think I moved there when I was like 19. And then I met these guys who traveled around and worked these festivals, man. And they were like, man, you should come and do this. And the first one was Louisiana.
Really?
So yeah, so I and you know I wasn't in like the best mental state. I was young and just making mistakes in life. You know, that's just what happens. And but I was 21, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And I put in my 2 weeks notice. My last paycheck was just enough for me to get a Greyhound ticket out there.
Okay.
And I went out there with like no job, no nothing. It was just
Nothing,
like, we
just
fucking
learn.
better make it work.
Yeah.
Shut up. In Hammond, Louisiana, I got a job making, I made $50 a week was my pay when I first started. And, but it was also the happiest I've ever been in my life. And I was just living in the tent in the middle of the swamp with all these wild,
Ain't that
crazy
crazy
people.
how much enjoyment you actually had? To
Yeah, dude, and that's what made me stick with it. And like I would literally so we would work Friday and Saturday, or so we'd work Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday you'd have it off. And every Monday I would take my $50 and I would go get like 2 packs of cigarettes, a 10-pack of ramen, and a bag of apples, and that was what I had for the week to live off of, man. And I did that and I loved it. And then I went to I went to Arizona and started making like $100 a day. And it was like, oh shit, we're making $200 a week. That's a lot more.
Yeah.
And by the time I was done, dude, I was making crazy money. You make a lot of cash doing it if you do it right.
Okay.
But I just got weary with it, man. You travel constantly like that. Eventually, you just want to stay in one place, and that's.
Was it so the driving? Yeah. Would you rather fly or would you?
Oh no,
I'd
rather drive. I'd rather drive. Yeah, I don't mind. The trips aren't bad, man. It's just eventually you want to stay somewhere. You know, whenever you set something up that you got to tear it down, you got to go and set it up. It just nothing feels permanent. It feels like you don't really have any lasting things after a while, man. So yeah, after like 10 years of that.
I got a little bit of experience in that part. I would say that because of the sports marketing.
Yeah,
we had to set up all the floatables, everything. It was every week.
Yeah.
Every time you tear it down, do it again. So
just running and doing it, man. Yeah. Yeah, they say when the tent goes up, the tent goes down. All anybody ever sees is the show.
Man, that is wild, man.
Yeah.
I did not know. How many places you said you did with the festival?
A lot. So let's see here. I worked 2 different fairs here in Ohio. I worked a fair in New York. I worked a fair in Washington for a while. I did a couple things in Texas, Arizona, Oklahoma, out in California. A lot of places, man. A lot of places. Let's see, Tennessee. I never worked the ones in Florida, but there are ones in Florida. Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, just all over the place. All over the place. Colorado. I don't know if I said that already.
I don't know. So was that all mixed in with the bartender, or did the bartender come when you came up
So no. I would bartend like as a side hustle kind of thing, man. When I could, like in between shit when there wasn't work or something, I would bartend to make cash, and I liked that. So when I got off the road, it was a skill because like I didn't really spend time going to college or nothing, so I didn't really have anything to make a good paycheck other than
like showing your rap sheet.
Other than like bartending. Yeah, like you can't go into a place and like have them ask you if you have like managerial skills, and you're like, well, I used to dress like a medieval peasant and sell roses to people on the side of the road. Is that's something, right? Like, hey, like I would dress up and I would stand on the road and I would tell people I was selling love the only way they'll legally let me. Cheaping on the street. That was it.
The only legal way I can do it.
Yeah.
Man, I know you got a great pitch because you probably didn't practice it.
Oh, with the roses, man, the best thing you can do with roses, man, you walk up, you come up to a couple and you catch them off guard and you just go, and when the dude looks over, you just point at the basket and then point at her. Mm-hmm. And he's like, fine. Or it'd be good somebody come up and he'd go, hey babe, you want a rose? I go, that's not how you do it. You don't say, do you want a rose? You say, which rose do you want, my guy? Like, you gotta spin this right. And I'd walk up and like, excuse me, ma'am, could you hold this? And she'd take it. I'm like, it fits. And I get the dude to buy it, like all kinds of stuff, man. It was just,
Man, I bet you had some ways. Like, okay, I know which one to do.
yeah,
This is gonna be it.
you could see it, man. You got to where you could look at people and tell who you were going to be able to get and who you weren't going to be able to get. And you just sail through the crowd and ping them, get them. They'd ask like how much it was. You're like, oh, this rose is it's $4. 5 if you like me. 10 if you love me. 20 you want me to shut up and get a real job. That one comes with my mother's phone number. You guys got some stuff in common. Yeah, little pitches, man. Like,
That stuff be perfect, man. That stuff is always perfect. You clacking your way over here again?
what's up, buddy?
Clacking your way over here.
Oh, it's
Simba is
perfection.
in the building.
Perfection.
I know Simba has not left. He knew y'all was gonna be here watching, and he wants to show his face.
He's the most important guest on the show right here.
Always had to show his face. So
That's it.
back on the you saying like just the mental part. Like, how are you feeling through all that traveling? Was it like mentally frustrating, or was it?
I think it's the world is full of grays, man. Like nothing so like black and white as that. Like so, when I first got on the road, I was in a rough spot, and then I got on the road, and it really opened me up to this. I spent my formative years doing it. You know, it made me who I am. Like all of my 20s was that. So when I started doing it, yeah, it opened it up, showed me this community that I didn't even know was there. That you could be this kind of weird offbeat dude and find a bunch of other weird offbeat people that you can bond with, right? So it was really helpful at first, and that for that band, like just showing me that you can like do that you can find a community no matter who you are or like what you're into. That was really good for me. But like I said, at the end of it, it was just it stopped serving its purpose. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you get what you need from something, and it's time to move on from that thing. Okay. You know, and like I treasure it. I love it. I love everybody out there. I think it's a great job. I think it's a great idea.
Like a community. Like,
yeah, and you're like wondering what to do with your life, and you don't really feel like you're fitting in where you are, man. It's a great way to see the country and still make some money doing it. But like for me, it got to where like I just wanted to put down roots somewhere. I felt like I was just kind of blowing in the wind, and that was when I was like, all right, man, it's time to move on. I've still got a lot of friends out there. They come and visit sometimes, or like I'll make it out. I usually try to make it out to Louisiana once a year. Okay. When the show is open, and go check that out. Yeah.
That's some real like friendship right there. Especially like, look, I'm gonna try to at least take one time or twice out of there if I can at least come down and visit you guys again. Especially
absolutely experiences. When you're in a community like that too, you have to realize like, so these guys, we all travel constantly. So sometimes you go 6-7 months without seeing your buddy because he's off on a different circuit than you. So it's just we all kind of have that thing where like when you're in my life, you're in my life, and when you're not, that's cool. I still have a space for you. Right. You know, like it's just how we learn to be. I feel that. But no, I loved it. I really did. You be as needy as you want. You're perfect.
Go ahead, Simba. You let them know what you want.
Yeah.
Did you tell them? Did you tell everybody what you wanted?
Yeah, what you want? Is it love? Is it love? Me too, buddy. Me too.
So you had that stuff. So I'm trying to. So this guy. Yeah. He was like, oh, I'm gonna make sure.
But I think as far as the mental health thing too, out there, you got to be able to control yourself, man. Because like. I don't know if you've ever heard like, I mean, everybody's heard rumors about like traveling folk, like what you think it's going to be like, right? And if you do it wrong, it is like that. Like there were plenty of people out there who were doing like, you know, harder stuff and being wild and crazy. And like, to be frank, man, there are times when I was one of them. But you got to be able to kind of keep it in check. You got to be able to control yourself better because there's no safety net out there, man. Yeah, it's like you.
Nobody's gonna tell you where to.
That's it, man. Like it's all you. So you got to be able to.
And you say you was 21?
Yeah, I just turned 21 in August, and I was on the road in October. Yeah.
So that means that was your
fresh
growing up.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, man. Like it's really what shaped me in my adult life. Because like, by the time you're 21, you kind of got a personality already, but like you're still kind of new to the world, so you're still being like formed by society. You haven't really been out in it like that, you know. And that's where I did the bulk of my learning, man. That's what shaped me the most. It's a big part of who I am. Yeah,
that's deep, man. And it's wild to even think about everybody's different stories on how they came about.
Yeah, dude, yeah. People are from everywhere, so. And everybody's got their own story for how they ended up out there, you know, how they found it, what they were doing. Because like there were stage shows, there were people who would come out there to like act. Like I knew this guy, he was a fire whipper named Adam Crack. And he has like the world record for longest whip crack. He can play Baby Got Back on the whips. Like that's weird crazy stuff, man, weird stuff. I know a lady named Crystal who does like aerial silks and like breathes fire and juggles and carves wooden staffs and plays guitar and sings songs. Like she's very talented. I know people who you ever been to a carnival and see like the big like ship ride? It's like a giant swing. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a big swing basically.
Yeah.
But we had a version of that. It's called a dragon ride. It's a flying dragon, right? And it's got these claws on the front of it, and you just pushed it. You just had to push it. You had to get it going, and then I would like it'd come up. The claws would come up, and you grab the claws, ride it up in the air, jump off of it in the air. And then people would tip you because holy shit, you just did that, right?
Yeah.
But then this dude I know named Jeebus started working it, and Jeebus started doing like backflips and like handsprings and standing on top of it while I was up there and jumping like all kinds of crazy things. And they tell you you're not supposed to hot dog, but Jeebus is allowed to do it because he's not hot dogging. It's just how he pushes the ride. Like, and that was the excuse, man. The rule for working for the ride company was like, it was like if you get knocked down, you're fired. If you get backed up, you're rehired. And if you get knocked out, you're trespassing. So
that was the same.
Yeah, dude, that was it. Like we didn't have workman's comp or nothing, man. We're just out there. If you get hit, oh, you retired. Bummer. Yeah. Yeah, I've been thrown by some rides. I've been hit by all of them. Never anything too serious. But I've been hurt by a couple of them.
But that's like an adrenaline almost. It's
yeah. Man. I almost got this foot cut off in Arizona by a 2,000-pound gear crank. So there's a gear that cranks like this way, and then there's another bigger one. So you turn the handle here, right?
Yeah.
And it's heavy. It's 2,000 pounds. So you figure out real quick that instead of pulling it, if you just step onto it with your foot and start walking those rungs, it's a way easier way to get it going. So I'm up there doing that, and then one of the teeth slips, and when the tooth of the gear slips, it jerks, so I fall, and my foot lands on the big wheel and starts rolling towards the tiny wheel. And the guy pushing it, his name's Cassidy, pushes down, and his head swelled up like a balloon. It was wild. And I just closed my eyes and waited for that shit to hurt. You know, I just closed my eyes. I was like, there it goes, we're done. And I opened them up, and the wheel was like right on my foot, man.
Yeah, it was like,
oh yeah, dude, I almost lost it. It was crazy.
You had me like in the scene right now.
Yeah,
like,
dude, it's wild. It was a wild time.
Man,
it's cool, man. I still got both my feet. We're good.
Yeah,
I got them.
Yeah. Blessing, you still got them, man.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, I almost got impaled. I was doing this. I was talking about the dragon ride where you grab the claws.
Yeah.
This was it was a different model. It was called a hippogriff, but it was the same idea. And I grabbed the claws, but it had been raining. So I wasn't thinking about it. So instead of throwing me up, it threw me out. And when it threw me out, there's like this rope perimeter. And I felt the rope touch my back. And I landed. And when I opened it, there's these big poles. And it was in between my arm. It almost went right through me because there's these big pointed poles for the gate.
Yeah.
And it was right there. And I just looked at it like,
bro.
Told everybody the ride was closed for a minute. I was like, I need to take a breath.
You are like literally dodging Grim Reaper himself.
Yeah, man. Yeah. A lot of times so far. That's why I look like this. You know, I'm 14 years old, man. It was a good time. It was a lot of fun.
That's good, man. So you ready for one of these questions? One of these
man.
questions?
Yeah, let's do it. Ask it up.
Can dive you into one of these. Actually, it'll be another. It's like a two-parter. So the first one is pretty much what started your bartending career.
Man, what started? So I needed a gig, and I ended up working at this place. There's a lady named Mary Beth Tolson, and she has a bar called Old Hooker's Bait and Tackle. Dude, I'm not even kidding. It's the best tackle. It says Old Hooker's Bait and Tackle, and then it says you're bound to catch something. I was like, bro,
wow, these is crazy.
So she had this bar called Old Hookers, and she thought like that she should have like a fancier place to go with it. So she opened another one called the Madam, because if you got a bunch of hookers, you need a Madam.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a job as a cook there. I got a job cooking at the Madam.
Okay.
And then I started, serving tables and stuff. And then one day they needed somebody to help bartend, and I'd kind of been paying attention. So I went back and started bartending a bit, and then it just took off from there. Then I ended up working at this Irish pub and bartending there, and then it just
kept going
and going, man. It just became something that I was really into. I developed a passion for it. Found out that I really liked to do it, especially dive bars, man. Because I can make a lot of fancy cocktails, and I love craft cocktails, but I also like being able to like wear a T-shirt and cuss you out if you suck, instead of just be like, oh, thank you for your patience, yes sir. Like, oh, I'm so sorry about that. I hate you. Like, I dig a good dive instead.
What about speakeasies?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Those are awesome. We used to have one. I don't know if you talk about that. When I was there's okay. I won't say any locations. I won't say any names. But there were a couple of spots on the road where we absolutely had just illegal ass shit bars. Like
Okay.
you'd go in, and I mean like a proper speakeasy, not like because like you go to places that are like speakeasy themed, but it's not like a speakeasy.
real
Yeah, ain't no
speakeasy.
cops gonna bang down the door and go, "You got your permits." Like, and you'd be out there.
Actually, to mention, we actually had one. Well,
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if it was even it was basically a casino, but no one knew because the windows were tinted. But
Yeah.
it was local here, but
Yeah.
they busted it. They busted and found it.
been known to roll a couple of dice. Like, yeah, man. Yeah, shout out to the game CeeLo. Like, let's do it. Like,
That's what I'm saying. That was, and then so the speakeasies we have here, like they're known. Some people don't know. It's like the one, like the North Side one, unless you know it.
the one I've heard of is Baxter's
Baxter's?
Speakeasy.
Yeah, that's because it's a vibe. It's like a good vibe.
Yeah.
And like anybody that said they're looking for a nice new place to go, I always tell them that. I was like, Baxter's Speakeasy.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
You can't have a better vibe.
Yeah, it's a cool spot. It's a
Yeah.
cool spot. But yeah, that's it. That's how it started. Old Hooker's Bait and Tackle. If you ever find yourself in Lexington, Kentucky, check them out. It's a
Okay.
cool bar. It's a little hole in the wall. I love it.
So when it come, this is the two-parter question. So I was gonna say, when it comes to making drinks, what drink do you hate making the most that people like the most?
Oh, lemon drops. Yeah, 100% lemon drops. And they're not even, like, a lemon drop isn't bad. But whenever people order lemon drops, they never order one lemon drop. They always order 4 lemon drops. And then they always wait until you've made those 4 to be like, hey, can I get 2 more of those on the end of it? And, like, I got to sugar every rim. I just lemon drops. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't like them. I don't like them. Don't do it. Yeah, get a green tea.
Get a green tea.
Get a green tea shot. Yeah, it's way easier. I'll love you more. I won't be as mad if you don't tip me. Yeah.
So no lemon drops. Y'all listening? That's the one he hates the most. Is that the most because of the, is
Yeah,
it more work?
It's not even because I mean it is work. Just it's messy. The shot glass ends up coated in sugar. It takes longer to wash it when you're busy.
Okay.
And that's the day when you're busy. You're trying to get things done quick. You try to batch it, shake it, pour it in the glass. That's
Yeah,
it. So
and
you
then
have
be
to go
done with the
through
next person.
and do a sugar rim, and then you have to sugar dip lemon.
Okay.
Or like, I mean, and like, dude, there are shots I make that are way harder to make that I enjoy making more, just because the result is cooler. Like, I like doing like flaming shots. I like doing fire shots.
What's the one that had the flame on it? I remember you did. It was like a cinnamon coffee thing.
Oh yeah. It looks like I call it a flaming Guinness because it looks like a little baby Guinness.
Yeah.
And then you stack them up and you throw cinnamon at it. That's most cocktails that you light on fire. You're gonna throw cinnamon at because dude, people don't know it, but cinnamon is wood. It's just like tree bark, so it lights on fire really easy.
And it gives
you
it
just
that
throw fire
ambiance
in
that
it.
people are looking
Yeah.
for. That's what I was thinking. I was like, what was it? I was like, what was that called that one day? I was like, Josh made it that one day.
Yeah.
Could never think about it again. I was like, that was cool. I was like, I gotta keep that video.
Yeah, it's a good one, man. I like that drink. I like that one. But that's another thing though. Like if I'm in a rush and you order that, no, no, man, no, you ain't getting that. Here's a Bud Light. Enjoy yourself. And that's why dive bars are cool, man. So I was working at the cocktail lounge and you did
Yeah.
that, man. I'd have to make it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to make it up to smile. Like, oh, thank you for your patience. And
What's the most fanciest place you were like as far as bartending? What's the
I worked at a place in Cleveland called Touch Supper Club. It's closed now, but before the pandemic, I worked there, and it was a craft cocktail lounge. And I was on the weekends downstairs. It was like this big hip hop club, and we would fly these crazy DJs out from New York. I can't remember any of them right now, but we would fly people out from New York to come out there and have this party.
That's
And we had all these custom cocktails that we made. Like we made our own syrups, like we made our own liqueurs, we made our own Luxardo cherries, we made our own garnishes, like everything. Like there was a cocktail I had called Tina Louise, and I literally did everything but make the booze. Like I did everything but build a still and craft the whiskey that I was putting in it. But otherwise, like I made my own ginger liqueur, I made my own orange liqueur, I made my own candied ginger, I made my own candied orange peels, I made my own Luxardo cherries. I made everything for it. Yeah. And that was a real cool spot. It was a real cool spot. It's probably the fanciest one I've worked in.
fanciest one? Especially when you bring in DJs out from New York. And
Flying them in, dude, for this party, man. There's every we would have parties every weekend, but like I think it was the first Friday of every month, we would have this thing called I Got Five on it, and it was just huge. I mean, dude, packed place, and it was awesome. It was a cool spot.
See, I need this is where I need to be exploring, trying all these new places. This stuff sounds. Especially the names. Every time you hit me with a new name,
Yeah.
I'm like, these names are so catchy and they're so like it makes you want to go in there.
Yeah, Touch Supper Club. It was a cool spot. Yeah, it was a cool spot, dude. The basement was like this old. It was an old bank in the basement, like to get into the hallway that had the bathrooms was this huge old vault door, and that was cool.
That's how you got
open
to
this
it.
giant vault, and there'd be a hallway in a men's side and a women's side.
What? It was an old bank they turned it into. But you said it closed because of COVID.
Yeah, after the pandemic, it just never, dude. You know, a lot of people lost their asses, and he just didn't have. I mean, I guess he just didn't have enough money to get it up and running again after everything was done. Man, it took out a lot of places.
That sucks, man.
Yeah.
That always sucks. You can see it. You can literally see the effects of other stuff always coming. It's like, dang, where'd that spot go? I haven't seen them open since.
Yeah. No, I went. I was up in, and it was Ohio City, but I was up in Ohio City not too long ago, and I walked by it, and it was still closed. And I was
Still
like, man, that's a
closed.
bummer.
Wait,
Yeah.
Is that where you were living up in Cleveland when you were up there? Or you
No,
driving
I still
from-
lived in. I live in Canton.
Oh, so you drive from Canton all the way up
Oh
to-
yeah, dude. I was working a ton too, man. I would wake up. I would wake up at like 9:30 so I could be like ready around like 10, so I could get there around 11, so I could open the place up and get it ready and going. And then I would work until like 2:30 when we would close, and it was a 2-story building, so you'd get out of there at like 3:30, 4:30 in the morning, right? And I'd drive my ass an hour back.
Man.
Yeah. And then I'd wake up. I'd sleep for like 4 hours, wake up, go do it again.
I know that experience way too well because I was doing security at Barley House on West
Oh yeah,
6.
yeah.
So security, you leave, and if I don't got like my little sister or somebody stay up there, I'm like driving right back to Akron.
Yeah. Sometimes, I had a buddy. Sometimes I would crash with, but most of the time, no, I would just come home. That's it.
Man, I knew that experience way too well.
Yeah,
Way too well.
yeah. I'm used to that kind of stuff. Like when you're on the road like that, like there's a lot of work that goes into it that people don't think. Like I said, everybody sees the show. You come out and you see all the cool rides and like the food, and everybody's running around, but you don't see. Us building that. Like, somebody's got to put that ride together, somebody's going to tear it back down. Somebody's going to load it up on a truck. Like, and it's, it's not like there are rides out there that I was like, man, it'd be real cool. Like if we had a crane, but we don't. There's just this giant metal pole that's got to come down, and it's you and 4 guys just walking it and hoping that the wind doesn't pick up and kill you. Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
That's it. That's also the thing
What
about
about
that.
you? You got a favorite drink?
Mine.
Yeah. What do you like to drink?
I don't
It ain't
think
got to be nothing crazy, Like people will ask me, like I like whiskey and coke. That's my favorite. I can
straight-
make all
straight to the
kinds
point.
of fancy shit, but I like a whiskey and coke, man. It's just easy. I dig it.
I think I still been like trying to figure out my like favorite drink. I'm always mixing between trying something new or trying to stick to something I've had before.
Yeah.
So I can't really figure out which one I would like have. So I can't like sometimes it's like, all right, maybe you just want a Long Island. But then you'd be like, all right, maybe you want, I don't even know. That's what I'm saying. Like usually I would like bounce to something, I'll try something else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I probably can try these. But then I'll forget the name of it because it's not like
It's
trying
man,
different.
when you find your favorite, you'll remember it. Like, yeah. There's a regular who comes into the matinee. And when I started there, a lot of the cats, I mean, people know cocktails, but like I could do some stuff that like most people in a dive bar haven't really seen. So I started making these drinks, and I made a Greenwich sour for this cat, and he drank it, and now that's just like that's his drink, and he knows that now. Like if he goes to a fancier place, he knows what to ask for, he knows what to order
'Cause he
because
knows
he
he wants
figured
that.
out this dive bar. Yeah,
Usually, I mean, I would try like a sidecar.
sidecar's a good drink, man.
Yeah, I'll try a
sidecar's good drink.
sidecar.
Yeah,
I think that's when I started going. When I first started going to speakeasy, when I tried them, I tried the Manhattan. Too much.
yeah. So
much.
those real old school ones like Manhattans and old fashions are really basically just like booze in a cup with something else.
Yeah, I was like,
Just
that's
put a
too
little
much.
something in it,
When you
yeah.
just sip on that, because you try to do 4 of those and you just be.
Yeah, you just drank 4 cups of whiskey. Just
Yeah.
4 cups of whiskey. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. That's
No,
it.
no.
That's it. Let me see. What else we got? What else we got on here? All right, I got a fun one for you. Maybe you already have an answer for this. We don't know.
We'll find out.
We can check and see. So, what superpower would you have and why?
Oh, I do.
I figured.
No, bro, it's you're not even. It's the power of mime. That's it, because you can do whatever you want. You did like I like you come at me. I just mime having a rocket launcher. Step up, motherfucker! Get the boom. Like, what do you need? What do you need, man? You just mime taking off. Suddenly you flying. Like it's the only thing. It's the only weakness is you can't make a noise while you're doing it.
Yeah, so you
It
have to
fucks
be
up.
mute.
Yeah,
Your
that's
weakness
it.
is mute.
Yeah, but no, I always thought that would just be like a Trump power, like whatever, dude. Like you, any power you want, you just mime doing it.
Yeah.
Let's go. Like,
It's like, yeah, I just literally just mimed what I want.
yeah, that's it.
That's crazy. You know what? I have never had one person, no matter how many conversations I've been through, I've never had one person say something like that.
Yeah, pick the power of mime. I tell you, man.
How long did that take you like, when did you?
Because I've had. Well, I think it was Arizona. We were all sitting around coming up with like weird powers, and like before that, I used to wish that I had the power to manifest tacos in my left hand and cheeseburgers in my right at any given time. That was the power before, but it just kind of slowly evolved. It's like, well, what would be an actual effective power? And like, dude, mime it. Shut it down. Shut it down. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. You just mime it. You just mime it. That's it.
Tacos in one hand, cheeseburgers in the other.
Done. Yep. Middle of the desert, dying of thirst. Surrounded with tacos.
So surrounded with tacos and burgers, but dying
like,
of
what's
thirst.
happening? Yeah.
Man, I've never even heard that one. Even then, I mean, like one of your friends, you're like, bro, you just gotta have the power of drinks, like, cause we.
Yeah. We need one dude who can make like wine coolers.
Yeah.
Like,
Dang.
pop up a fucking Smirnoff Ice. Just, like,
That is crazy. Yep. That had to be an interesting. You said I was in Arizona?
yeah, I think it was when we all sat down. And because I had the cheeseburger one, and there was a guy named Zachers. And I think it was Zachers. I don't know, this is like 14 years ago or something now, man. But I think Zachers was who first mentioned the mime thing. And I was like, dude, that's perfect. That's the best power. That's the best power. You got me beat.
Can't think of anything. It's like, just take
Yeah.
it. Usually, but if you had mind control, wouldn't that kind of.
You just mime it, bro.
So you mime the. So
Yeah.
then the mind control minds.
Yeah, like I feel like mime, it would really be some kind. It's got to be some kind of psychic something. But yeah, if you just sit there and like
Yeah.
did it, man, like
So it'd be like the mind control fighting the mind control. Then it's just like, oh, that's crazy, man. I almost got to virtually see that happen.
yeah.
I got to virtually see how that goes down. Like, who wins that? Who wins that? I'm not even sure who wins that type of stuff. It's insane.
Man, I hope it's not the mime, but it's probably the mime. Like, what's that like? A mime is a terrible thing to waste. You know?
That's like 100%. I could definitely see that. What else did you have? What else did you have like going on? Like anything new?
Man, I do a lot of music stuff. So I've been working on that. I just finally put my first single on Spotify.
Okay.
So that's fun. Yeah, the group is called Joshua Hancock and the Junkyard Trio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, he's promoting that. Just to let y'all know, he is promoting that. I'm helping him out.
I'm saying it out loud, I guess. That's,
Y'all can definitely go see.
yeah, you want to hear a chain smoker yell really loud and then like a really cool saxophone solo. Check it out.
Definitely check it out.
Yeah.
I see some of y'all that was in there. I didn't even pay attention to what Deja had said. Please ever call. She said, "Please ever call me out." Oh, don't ever call me out. Because I'll have my people call your people. Love you in infinity.
Nice.
That's what I appreciate. The love and support. That's what we always need every time for Elevate EP. So you said the music, and how long you been doing the music?
That's something that started when I was on the road too. So like I could kind of play guitar when I got on the road, but then I was very poor, and like for most of the time I lived in a tent with like no electricity. So I would get bored out of my mind, man. So after the first year, I did it when winter come, because like in wintertime there's no real shows going on. People like to go be with their families and shit. When winter hit, I swung back through and picked up my guitar. And I was like, well, we'll start doing this. Just kind of writing about that life, being on the road. So most of it's just like kind of like gravelly, bluesy folk songs with an acoustic guitar. So
basically
sometimes
taught yourself, basically.
Yeah. And so, sometimes like I have a friend plays cello with me named Shelby. She's in a band called Reagan Leaf. You should really check them out.
Okay.
But yeah, she'll play cello with me sometimes. But for the most part, it's just dudes sitting by a campfire.
Make sure I write that down so I remember too.
Yeah.
Just like how it sounds. Right
No, not at all. It's Reginleif. I think is how you spell it. And I could be wrong, but it's something. That's the ballpark.
Okay.
But no, it's like she has like this cool jazz band
Okay.
that she plays cello for.
So I definitely can look that one up.
Yeah, they're real good. Yeah, but no, so yeah, I started writing music like that and just sitting around campfires, just like writing about the devil and doing cocaine and running around being crazy, and yeah, I just kept doing it, man. And, I've sounded like a chain smoker since I was like 14, so I just use that. It's kind of cool now because I'm getting older, so now it doesn't surprise people as much when they hear what my voice sounds like. Because like when I sing, because it's really gravelly, but it's because I'm getting older. When I was younger, the voice was exactly the same. So when I was like 22 and doing it, people were like, "What the fuck?" I had no idea. It sounded like I just ate some 90-year-old coal miner.
Now your voice sounds gonna be like that forever. It's like, wow, what happened?
Yeah.
So was everybody like excited? It's like, oh, Josh about to come with the guitar to the campfire.
They were really receptive. It was cool, man, because I didn't expect it to be like that. Dude, I was nervous. It took forever. I would go and sit at the campfire and I'd watch everybody. And then one day I kind of came up, like, holding it. And they're like, "You play it?" I was like, "I do." Yeah. And I was a simple songwriter. I'd written a couple of songs. Didn't know the names of the chords or anything. Didn't know anything musical. Just like sat there and made weird shapes. And every now and then one would sound good and I would remember it. Yeah. And I focused on writing. That was my big thing. I like lyrics. Before I did music, I did spoken. Well, I mean, I still do. I did spoken word poetry, and I would do that too when I was traveling. Like I was homeless in Arizona one year, in Tempe, Arizona, sleeping under a bridge. And I found out about a poetry slam that they were doing, and that was how I was able to eat.
And got inside.
Every week they had this poetry slam, and I would go, and the winner, cash prize. So I would go every week, and every week I would win that motherfucker, and every week I had money in the pocket so I could eat with,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's big, man.
Yeah.
Especially it's like, I'm about to figure it out. I'm about to make some money.
Well, that's all you can do, man.
Yeah.
That's all you can do. I feel like that's something that scares a lot of people. Like people are afraid of being homeless. And I mean, it sucks. Like I'm not saying shoot for it. There's nothing to be scared of. Don't be like, oh, it's Josh says it's fine. Fuck him. I'm gonna just like blow some guy from crack and live in a box. Let's live. Don't do that, children. But like the first time you end up in that situation, because I was traveling and I showed up in Arizona earlier than I meant to, and at first I was just living. Literally mile marker 207 off the highway, 3 miles into the desert, just in the desert. It was a 7 mile walk to water and a 7 mile walk back. And I was like, this sucks. I'm going to go and instead of being homeless in the desert, I'm going to go be homeless in Tempe, Arizona in the city so that like, I can find food and stuff. Right. And I went and did that. But like once you've done it, you realize that you're still you. Mm-hmm. That nothing has really changed. That you have to get yourself out of the situation, but you're okay. Like the world didn't end. You're not done and destitute forever. Now you've been shunned from society. You just got to build yourself back up. Yeah. So that's what you do.
Mentally, mentally, just like
you gotta. I think that you got to be able to keep that though. Like you got to be able to keep your head up. Like because if you get too far down on yourself, man, you know how that goes. If you get too far down, it gets hard to change. Yeah. You got to be able to pull yourself up to some extent. Like. I'm not saying yank yourself up by your bootstraps, self-made man, any of that bullshit. I think that's all. Those are platitudes sold to you by rich men to keep you poor. But like, there is something to be said about keeping your head about you, man. Like even in a bad situation, recognizing that this is a bad situation, but you can do things to improve it, even if it's just like short-term, small goals. Yeah, you move forward like that. Yeah,
that's big. People need that. That's why I say your mental health is non-negotiable, and you can definitely. You really want to, you can definitely push through things that people feel like they can't, but you can.
Yeah, somebody told me once they said choose your thoughts, man. And I didn't really understand it at first, but then like it makes sense. It's you can think about whatever you want to think about. So if you're sitting there and you're mad that like, Johnny effed you over on a deal or something and he ripped you off and you're sitting there just thinking about it. Quit thinking about it. Mm-hmm. Quit thinking about it. And like your brain might drift back to it. The second you catch yourself thinking about it, think about, daisies or like, this really good gummy you had in 3rd grade or something. Whatever you want to think about. Or like, damn, I'm going to get a slushy later. Whatever takes your mind off of it. Yeah. You don't have to like have these deep, profound thoughts, man. You can just think about glue, whatever you want. But something else. Yeah, get your mind off of that. And then you catch yourself drift back to it. Man, choose your thoughts. Think about something else. Just think about something else. Mm-hmm. And the more you do it and the more you practice it, it's like any other muscle. The better you get at it. The easier it gets to do that. Yeah.
That's a note. Take that note. Everybody take that note. I know y'all need to. I almost wrote it down like, oh yeah, that's what I kind of need to do that. I watched this this YouTube is Escaping Ordinary.
Yeah.
So I watched. I say it's
No, I've seen it.
pretty much making yourself 1% better
Yeah.
every day. Yeah,
That's it. It's small incremental changes. Like you're not going to wake up tomorrow and have everything figured out and just suddenly be financially stable and go get a mansion and have the life you live. But you know, maybe you learn how to tie a tie. You know what I mean?
It's like, oh snap! I never
yeah,
even knew this.
that's what I'm saying. Maybe you learn how to tie a tie. Maybe you get a new set of like slacks or something. Maybe you know, you get like just something like little things, little tiny changes, man, tiny changes. Maybe you finally start keeping, you know, your house key in the same spot so that you quit losing it. You know, like little things, man.
That's, do you know what's crazy? So my friend actually is like, you have to give yourself more credit. Like, look at the stuff you've done. I'm like, I'm in a stage. I'm like, I need more because it's not enough. And
Yeah.
like, it's always that like kicking yourself. Like, I need more. Now I realize when I look at stuff, like, you've put all this together. You did your own streams. You've like, you stopped losing your keys.
That's it. It is these little things. And like when I look back, and like but the thing is, you got to realize it's gonna go, like it goes up, and you are doing better. That doesn't mean it's not gonna come down again. When it comes down again, you got to know that like, well, it went up last time. It'll probably go up again. That's like that's life, man. It's not straight. It's not a constant increase. It's not like that, man. Sometimes you go up, sometimes you go down. But like you have to be able to ride that out. You have to be able to keep your wits about you while you do it. Otherwise, you ain't gonna make it nowhere. And dude, even the depressing end of it is like, even if you do keep your wits about you, you still might not make it anywhere, man. It's a crapshoot. Life is luck. It's luck. But like, if you don't try to do stuff, then nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. You might as well give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the worst that happens? The shit doesn't work. Oh no.
Everybody's always supposed to risk because our whole life is risk. It's like you're supposed to take a risk.
Yeah, man. Yeah. If you show me somebody who's never like come up against like a personal hardship, then I will show you the most boring person you've ever met in your life, dude. They've never had to face any kind of adversity or anything like that. Then they've never had to grow. They've never had to change. They've never had to really become anything. They just.
Are we talking about the rich?
I've some. Yeah. Not a fan. But no, I mean anybody really, because like there are plenty of people who like they're just dudes like dipping white bread in milk. You know what I mean? They ain't nothing. They're just there. You get complacent. Some people just stay complacent and they never
not cut from a different
change. They just never do anything, man. They just sit there and whatever happens is what happens. They just kind of move through the world without trying to make any kind of impact, man. And like.
That's almost like life draining. Like you can you can feed off that from people like that. You're like, yeah, that's not.
And it's like I have this thing where like I don't think that there's really like a point to life, and I don't mean that like a depressing way. I'm not like, oh well, it's point. But I think the point is that there isn't a point. The point is that you kind of supposed to take your life and fill it with whatever you think is meaningful. You know, whatever you think you're supposed to be doing. Well, that's the point, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like there's no universal truth out there. Sorry, but like. Whatever you think you're supposed to be doing is what you're supposed to be trying to do, man. So go try it. Like, get out there. Go try and do it. Yeah.
Try. It's like, what's the worst gonna happen? Just go do it. That's the same thing about like moving and leaving. Like the biggest risk for people, like I don't know if I want to move or leave.
Yeah.
I don't think I can do it. It's like, well, I mean, you can.
You really can. Yeah. And once you do it, like once you realize how easy it is to do that, it's always there for me. I'm always just like, dude, I can just pack up and go whenever I want. I've done it so many times now. It's easy. You just put your shit in the car and then you go to the other place and then you just do stuff there.
Yeah.
That's it. But it can be hard, especially if you've never done that before, to do that the first time.
That's where my like part is right now. I'm like, I like to be adventurous. I want to go somewhere else and do some other stuff. I was like, I just need to know where I want to go first.
Yeah.
That's it. I need to know where I want to go and where I know I'll be able to have myself thrive, at least in a better position.
Yeah, yeah, man. What's the saying? Get in where you fit in.
Yep,
that's it.
Especially in like, well, some people can read the room, but some people can't. As far as like on where they should go and how their patterns should be. Like you can read the room. Like if you really tried, you can really pick up on like this is where I shouldn't be, this is where I should be.
Yeah.
Especially just, I think it's our nature where people be like, dang, I didn't know this place was like this. Like when you walk in, you can feel like you can really not only with your eyes, but you can feel.
No, there's
like,
yeah.
It's like I don't think.
This isn't the place for me. Yeah. I ended up in this. weird Puerto Rican dive bar that I was not supposed to be in. And like it was a little too local. I was some touristy guy, but I wanted to check out like I wanted to go to a cool like local dive bar, like a punk bar, because that's the kind of bar I like. I didn't want to go to some touristy bullshit.
Yeah.
And I ended up in this bar, and there was this very big dog did not like me because I was not one of the people that was supposed to be in the bar. Like I sat down, and the dog said, and I was like, they're like, yeah, he doesn't really like tourists. And I was like, well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave. I also think it's important sometimes though to make bad decisions. I don't think you should always. I think it's important sometimes, and not even accidentally. I think it's important to look at something and be like, okay, this is the correct thing. This is the incorrect thing. And knowingly and with intent, like I'm gonna take the bad thing. Like, see where it goes sometimes. Not all the time. Don't do it a ton. Don't do it a bunch. But every now and then, yeah, you gotta live. You gotta take a risk.
It's always a risk. Like everything. It's like always any of those things. So I gotta check and make sure. Now, this is a good one I always ask all my guests. It's like the big shebang last question I always chime in and have. So, when it comes to these two things, what's more important to you? Respect or loyalty?
Oh, loyalty.
Loyalty.
Yeah. Because I think they kind of go hand in hand, though. Really, like, because if you are loyal to me, then you respect me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If you're not loyal to me, then you don't really respect the person. Right. But like, I think it's more important to. If you say you have someone's back, you have their back, and that's it. And if you say you have someone's back and you don't have their back, I lose respect for you immediately. I'm like, nah, dude, that's it. Like, I've got people that I'm so close with that, like, I'll have your back if you're wrong, dude. You know what I mean? Like, you could be standing outside screaming to somebody 2 + 2 = 5, and I'm like, yeah, motherfucker. Like, when that dude leaves, I'm gonna look at you and be like, that was stupid, right? Yeah. Like, I'll tell you later. But like in the moment, I've got you, dude. If you're like mi familia, then like that's what you are. And like
that's that loyalty.
That's it, man. I think that's very important too. Also, like from being on the road, your word is the only thing you have out there. Like that's how you get your jobs. That's how you get everything. It's you say you're gonna do something, you do what you say you're gonna do. And if your reputation gets tarnished out there, you're done. So you have to be loyal. You have to appreciate that. Yeah, loyalty, definitely. Now, I don't respect myself. Yeah.
So respect myself.
Yeah, man, I do awful, terrible things to this, dude. Like, no, man.
So that's when the friends come in. It's like, oh, they're loyal to me. They're helping me out.
Yeah.
Realize the true things and what I can stay true to.
Yeah, absolutely loyalty though, 100%.
That's always that. I always like to see the different thought process on what people say about those two things. Yeah. I always like try to check and see. I'm like, what does people feel about like? Yeah,
my friends and I, we make fun of each other too much to respect each other. We do, man.
That's hilarious. So that's like more of it. It's more from like the friends that have been from the festival.
Yeah, that's the big thing out there is you roast people. So we used to call it the abusement park.
Okay.
Because you would come out and like if you came to it, we would just talk bad shit to you, and that's how we get you to buy stuff. I used to stick my head through a hole in the wall, and you would walk by and I would insult you.
Yeah.
And I'd get you mad enough that you would pay money to throw produce at my face, and that was the gig. So you would really hone in on that craft, man, and we got to where we can just dig each other, man. You can just
man,
somebody.
So
man.
All that tension that you had all day, and then you just rip it out on the
person walking by. You take it out. They just walk by. You go, hey, man. But the last time you masturbated, your hand faked a headache, huh? You used to have this braided ponytail, and you hang it over the hole, start bobbing up and down, like, yeah, bro, I got your girlfriend back here. This is this ponytail bobbing up and down.
Oh man, I was like, oh wait, you said what?
This dude threw a tomato at me and it hit right here and exploded. And I was like, that's not the first time you've covered another man's face in seed, is it, sir? And he got mad. And then he let me know, I can't remember the name of the team, but it was like Oklahoma had like a minor league baseball team, and he was the pitcher. And he got mad, and it was $1 a throw. And that motherfucker put down a $20 bill and proceeded to light me up. And I was like, "This was a mistake. I see why I was wrong now." Like,
he was launching them.
Dude, yeah, just over, like,
oh man,
flinging them, dude, thunk. And I was like, "Oh man, this is a bad idea." Like, yeah. And then you get like assholes sometimes would like come in and this never happened to me, but I know people it happened to. They take the tomato, and when somebody wasn't looking, they take a rock, they stick in that tomato and they bean it at you. Yeah, man. Dude, I mean, you're insulting them, and sometimes people get mad.
Yeah.
They get mad. The Renaissance Festival is not a place to go to if you don't have thick skin, man. People are gonna talk shit to you. Like, they're gonna talk shit to you. They're gonna hit on your girlfriend, and then they're gonna expect you to give them $20 for the privilege. It's a weird vibe, man. It's a weird vibe.
I guess it depends on how people feel about their what do you want to call it? What do you call it? Their the pleasures.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I love to get talked to like this. And,
Yeah, dude, like I love it. I love it, dude. My friends, we'll just sit around and talk shit to each other for fun.
get us through the day.
Yeah.
And we get to can do what we want.
Do it until you can you do it until you sting them a little bit. Like it's all fun and games until it's not.
Yeah.
That's when you go till. Like you do it until they're like, hey man, and you're like,
okay.
got a nerve.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like, all right. This is where I reached the peak. Okay.
Yeah.
But I at least got to get 6 or 7 good ones.
Yeah. But not loyalty. That's
Loyalty.
loyalty.
I feel that. So you can let me know, man. Is there anything else important or anything you want to let people know? Anything, it can be musical.
Tip your bartenders.
Tip your bartenders.
Don't order lemon drops off of me anymore.
And it's in the I have captions on, so you will see exactly what he says.
Yeah.
Don't say you didn't see it.
Yeah.
Do not order them.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't know, man. I don't know. Just be cool to people, man. That's it, you know.
Be cool.
If somebody hadn't given you a reason to be a dick to them, why you being a dick to them? Yeah.
I've just been. I was like, as soon as I got you, I was like, I'm gonna let Josh speak the truth, speak his mind, let everybody see the vibes and how he feels, and let him come with some truth. People can feel it. Everybody's gonna love it. I already knows because I shouted it out and marketed it all over my social medias. I was like, people was expecting this. I even got Lacey in here. She even saw it. I just got all these people. I'm like, dang, all the cool people came in and got to see Josh.
Yeah. I don't know. I just drink at the matinee. Drink at the matinee.
Drink at the matinee.
Drink at the matinee.
It's in Highland Square.
It's in Highland Square.
So you guys know exactly where it's at.
The matinee.
You can't say you don't know where it's at. You can't say. If you can't remember, ask me. I'll let you know. I'll pinpoint it, drop the pin.
Yeah, right.
I'll let you know exactly where it's at.
Drop the location right now.
That's actually the place me and Simba took our first picture, our matching hoodie picture in there.
Yeah.
That was
I think Lily's bartending tonight. Go say hey to Lily. Give Lily $1.
Give Lily $1 and make sure. Well, I don't know if she care about lemon drops, but
yeah, she probably doesn't care about them as much as I don't know. I've been doing it for a while. I've been doing it long enough to be bitter about certain things. Yeah, certain thing. Yeah, but no, man. Fuck lemon drops. They're not even good, man. You just drink a lemonade, man. It's a vodka lemonade with extra steps.
Extra steps.
Extra steps.
See, now that's where now mentally, when his mental health, when you order a lemon drop, you're messing him up.
Yeah, man.
Don't do that. That's all he asked for. His mental don't order it.
Just don't fuck me up, man. Just be cool.
He said, if anything, just get a cider. Get an Angry Orchard. That'd ease up everything.
No, you can order a harder drink. I don't give a shit. Come up and order a Vucare off of my ass. I'll make it for you. Just don't order a lemon drop, man. You want a New York sour? You want a Greenwich sour? I got you. You want a Ramos Gin Fizz? I probably don't have you, but I know how to make it. I just wanted you to know that. Yeah.
Oh, I guess I should say, when's the last time you made one then?
Oh, Ramos, not that long ago, man. I make them a lot, actually, man. It's another one that, like, if it's busy, so a Ramos takes at least like 10 minutes just to make the drink. It's a long cocktail.
So when's the last time you made a lemon drop then?
A lemon drop? God, probably Friday.
Okay,
Friday,
so you had
Saturday.
some time. Some time.
I mean, yeah, dude, if you order it, I'm gonna do it. I just don't want to. It's gonna be good. I make a good lemon drop, but
you just gotta put it on that board and be like, no more, and just lemon drops. Just like,
it's 86 them. That's it, 86 lemon drops.
Well, I guess that's probably it here for an Elevate EP podcast with Future Mose, and we had our guest here, Josh. And if he had anything else he wanted to say, I know he got what he wanted off his chest. Don't forget, y'all know what he said. Don't forget it. You better not order it.
Make them.
Just don't do it.
I'm gonna make them with lime juice if you order them.
Oh, oof.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bad time. Tip the bartenders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know. Tip the bartenders.